All right, let's get to our regularly scheduled segment to talk hot politics with David Heurtel. David, welcome back again on the Big Five on Monday, and thanks so much for filling in over the last 4 weeks while I was on paternal leave. Thanks so much.
Great pleasure, and a great pleasure to be with you this morning.
Now, David, I want to get to Coderre, but you know what? Actually, what's come to me just in my mind here, I just want to know how closely you're guarding your vehicle with all the car theft talk, and I don't know if you're currently underneath your car protecting your catalytic converter as we speak. But I don't know if you heard early on the show at 10 o'clock. I started to talk about car theft. We opened up our phone lines. It went bananas. And the text line went bananas. And then, Pierre Poilievre was on this week. There's the car theft summit that's happening. Mm-hmm. I just want to know your opinion on the car theft issue. How much is this? Is this like table stakes almost in the next election? What are your thoughts on that storyline from this week?
Well, I think it's about. I think a lot of politics right now is so much about being connected with kitchen table issues. Mm-hmm. And it's so divided right now, going into a big election cycle, right? In the next 18 months, Elias, you know this, we're going to have provincial elections in 26, and before that, we're going to have municipal, we're going to have federal, we're also going to have a leadership run for the Liberals provincially. So when people are doing their homework and polling, and these parties are looking at how tight things are. And certain races, when you have 3, 4, 5 parties running in the same riding, some races can be decided by 100 votes. And so these micro issues, these micro-targeted issues can make a big difference. So I think, with the economy the way it is, crime is up. There's a lot of demand internationally, all this for vehicles. Mm-hmm. So, I see these political parties and leaders looking at their polling data and saying we have to distinguish ourselves with issues that connect with people, and this seems to be one of them. We'll see. Yeah. But this is something that is touching. Over the holidays, you saw this. There was a poll. What were the most important issues that worried Quebecers? Crime was number 3.
Wow.
Wow. The big leger over the holidays. It was 1, of course, it was cost of living. 2 was inflation. 3 was exactly this.
It's so funny, David.
Not inflation, it was recession. Recession was 2. Yeah. Cost of living 1. 3 was crime.
It's so interesting because if I went to you, David, I said, on the count of 3, I'm going to snap my fingers, and you will be teleported to any place, any time in the history of the world, and I want you to base your decision on where you will be safest. You'd pick Quebec 2024. You know what I mean?
You would.
And it's still a big issue for people, crime.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about Denis Coderre.
Perception.
Yeah, it's such a big thing. Okay, let's talk about Denis Coderre. Mm-hmm. And boy, he's must be smiling and or laughing at the numbers this morning. What's your take on Leger putting him in the leadership post and the Liberals coming in at 21%? That's basically 33% higher than with the interim leader. What say you?
Well, I would say, first of all, highest numbers for the Liberals since 2020. And amongst Liberals, it's even greater. Amongst Liberals, his support is at 27%. And Mauro Risky's support for the leadership, one of the persons who out loud laughed at his candidacy, his potential candidacy, a couple of weeks ago. Mauro Risky's at 10%. Antoine Charest, ADC, at 11%. So Liberals actually like the idea. And so, yes, this is getting serious. People like Mauro Risky, like former Quebec City Mayor Régis Labaume, who wrote a column against his candidacy, should maybe understand that this is not about political commentators or trends on Instagram. Mm-hmm. It's about the members, and right now Liberals are taking this very, very seriously.
Did you see Jean-Marc Léger? There's a quote of him in Journal de Montréal, and he says this kind of proves that the whole idea of Mauro Risky was an invention of the media, and not,
it's an invention of a few select commentators and announcers, both in the French and English media, who decided out of nowhere to like Mauro Risky. But I'll just give you an example. Mara Risky, and since she's been an M&A, that we're in year 6 of Mara Risky as a Liberal M&A, there's never been any data that she's pulling the party up or her popularity is going anywhere up. She's good to grab headlines. Answer me this, Elias. Since on Friday, my big story to comment with Aaron and Natasha at 5:05 was about the Gazette story about this committee. You know, this committee that is in higher education.
Oh,
ministry
yes. That was 4 days late.
Yeah, that was the big story. It still is, by the way. That recommended to the Minister of Higher Education not to go ahead with these tuition hikes with Coderre and McGill. Where's Mara Risky since Friday on this? She's the higher education critic.
Yeah.
She has not made a single comment, and we're on Wednesday. This broke out Friday. So the fact is that when you're talking to liberals, rank and file liberals, to caucus members off the record, to people that actually, are liberals and are disaffected, you're saying, hey, this could be something. And what's interesting with this poll, a lot of stuff in this poll, a quarter of the support that's going to the Parti Québécois are Federalists.
Yes, which to me, David, says it's just people. That's anyone but Legault. Anyone but Legault, so they're parking.
Lot.
Yeah.
But that means with the results of this Léger about Coderre, that means for the first time since basically Philippe Couillard in 2017, you have a potential liberal leader who's actually adding votes.
Yes.
Philippe Couillard in 2017 was in the lead in Quebec. Then a lot of stuff happened. We know what happened in 2018. After that, Dominique Anglade kept hemorrhaging support to the disastrous result in 2022. For the first time, we have a person, and it's not Marois Risky, and it's not Antoine Ville-Charest. For the first time, we have a real serious candidate that's actually adding votes to the Liberals. So some people, the commentators and pseudo influencers may think that it's laughable, but at the same time, the data's there. There's some people saying, hey, this is interesting.
And I think, one thing going for Denis Coderre, he's got the vibe to go up against a guy like Legault.
Yeah.
And David, we got to wrap, but here's one thought in my mind. And that is, Legault, he may be thinking about, okay, this is it. Before the term's up, I'm going to resign. Maybe he's thinking that, maybe. But, people love power and stay in power. But I would think he would relish the thought of going up against Coderre, and it would force him to stick around. So I don't know. There's just this is why politics is fun to talk about, because it could go so many different ways.
I agree with you, but I think even more so that would make him want to stay is actually Paul Saint-Pierre-Plamondon, because the worst thing for François Legault in his heart of hearts is to actually see his party, the work of his entire life, be defeated by the party he left. And that's big as well.
Totally. Okay, Mr. Heurtel, thanks so much. We'll catch up real soon, and I'll see you Monday on the Big Five.
All right, take care, Elias.
David Heurtel, former Quebec Liberal cabinet minister and analyst extraordinaire here at CJD.